Jeff Bezos wants to raise $100 billion, not to build another tech platform, but to buy old-school factories and rewire them with AI. If this works, it could redraw the map of global manufacturing. Here's exactly what's happening, what it means for your industry, and what you should be doing about it right now. On March 19th, the Wall Street Journal reported that Bezos is in early talks with some of the world's largest asset managers and sovereign wealth funds to raise up to $100 billion for what investor documents call a manufacturing transformation vehicle. The targets are companies in chip making, aerospace, defense, and automotive manufacturing. The playbook is straightforward: buy established industrial firms, then rebuild their operations from the inside using AI. At the center of this is Project Prometheus, a startup Bezos co-founded and co-leads as CEO alongside former Google executive Vic Bajaj. Prometheus isn't building chatbots, it's developing AI models that simulate the physical world, predicting where a metal part might crack, how air flows around a wing, how materials behave under stress. The company raised $6.2 billion in late 2025, giving it a valuation of roughly $30 billion. It's now separately pursuing another $6 billion. The board includes David Limp, former CEO of Blue Origin. Backers reportedly include Jamie Dimon and the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. Think of it this way: Bezos did to retail what he now wants to do to factories. Amazon turned warehouses into software-driven logistics machines. This fund would do the same thing to jet engine plants, chip fabs, and defense contractors. The difference is scale. For context, total global venture capital in industrial AI and robotics was about $45 billion in all of 2025. A single $100 billion fund would instantly become the largest private force in the space, rivaling SoftBank's Vision Fund in size. So, what actually changes? Let's get specific. First, if you work in or supply aerospace, defense, or semiconductor manufacturing, this fund could become your new owner, your new customer, or your fiercest competitor. Companies acquired by this vehicle will likely get massive capital injections to automate design, testing, and production. That raises the bar for everyone else in those sectors. Second, if you're in industrial engineering or factory operations, the demand for people who understand both legacy manufacturing systems and AI integration is about to spike. Prometheus is building models that could replace months of physical prototyping with simulation. That shifts the value from hands-on testing to data-driven design. Engineers who can bridge that gap become extremely valuable. Third, if you run a mid-size manufacturing firm, this is a signal. Private capital is now betting at $100 billion scale that factories, which don't adopt AI, will be left behind, or bought out at a discount. The window to modernize on your own terms is narrowing. Now, let's talk about what could go wrong, because there's plenty. The fund is still in early discussions. $100 billion is aspirational. Raising it requires convincing institutional investors that AI can actually deliver returns inside messy, capital-intensive industrial operations on Tanawan, not just in clean software environments. Manufacturing has legacy equipment, union workforces, regulatory complexity, and supply chain fragility. Integrating AI into a chip fab is fundamentally harder than optimizing an e-commerce warehouse. There's also the jobs question. Senator Bernie Sanders has already pointed out that Amazon's own internal documents suggest the company could avoid hiring up to 600,000 workers by replacing them with robots. Scaling that philosophy across entire industrial sectors will face political and social resistance. And if automation moves faster than workforce retraining, the economic disruption in manufacturing communities could be severe. Finally, concentration risk. One entity controlling AI-driven manufacturing across chips, defense, and aerospace raises legitimate antitrust and national security questions that regulators will eventually have to address. Here's what you should do in the next 30 days. 1. Audit your manufacturing or supply chain operations for AI readiness. Identify the 2 or 3 processes where simulation, predictive maintenance, or automated quality control could have the biggest impact. You don't need $100 billion to start. 2. If you're in a target sector, chips, aerospace, defense, automotive, start tracking Project Prometheus and this fund closely. Know whether your company or your competitors could be acquisition targets and prepare accordingly. 3. Invest in upskilling. If you manage technical teams, get at least one person trained on industrial AI tools, digital twins, physics-based simulation, or reinforcement learning for robotics. That expertise will be in high demand regardless of what Bezos does. 4. Talk to your leadership about defensive modernization. The worst position is being an undervalued legacy manufacturer that looks like a bargain acquisition target. The best position is being the company that already automated and doesn't need outside capital to compete. 5. Watch the fundraising timeline. If Bezos closes even half of this fund, the M&A activity in industrial sectors will accelerate fast. Have your strategic options mapped out before that wave hits. The bottom line, Jeff Bezos is betting $100 billion that the biggest returns in AI won't come from software, they'll come from transforming the physical factories that build the world's most critical products. Whether he succeeds or not, the signal is clear. Industrial AI just became the highest stakes game in town. If you want to stay ahead of moves like this, subscribe to AIBlueprint. We break down the AI developments that actually matter for your business. No hype, just what you need to know.